Good morning. Good morning, everybody. A bit of a different view today. Hello, hello. Come on in. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How is everybody doing? Come on in while I get things ready here and try to pull up my page. Happy Monday. Hi, everybody. Hey, Lori. Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing on this wonderful Monday? A bit of a different view today. Yes, indeed. A bit of a different view, and I am so excited to bring you guys this segment of Sewing 101. So we're going to go over some basic, and we are also going to make sure that you guys know the simple things and understand how to make a project. So there's a couple of things we're going to do. We are going to make a kitchen curtain, and we are going to make, let me switch pages so I can see comments and I can welcome everybody, and we can start having some of the fun. Come on, where's my page? There we go. There we go. Good morning, everybody. Yes, Mirabelle, we are sewing. Hey, Avenel. Hey, Jean-Ann, Brenda, Cynthia, Irma, Nicole. Hi, everybody. Hi, Nicole. That's one of my Craft Around the Clock sisters. Good morning. Fun day today. Okay, can you guys hear me good? I am so not used to using a mic. Hey, Fatima, Kathy. Sewing. Ooh, we love sewing, and we love that you love sewing. So, we're gonna do, hey, Mary. Hi. Hey, Reba. All right, so let's get started because I do have quite a few things to cover. Thank you for sprinkling. Hey, Anita. So, all right. When it comes to sewing, I don't want anyone to get overwhelmed. So I don't know if you guys knew, but I used to do window treatments. That was my first business. And hi, Tanya. That used to be that was my first business back in the day. So I just super love it. But the overwhelming thing, just like in any type of craft, is that we feel that it's necessary to go and buy all these things to make one thing, right? So, if you want to make a simple curtain, like a cute little valance, you feel like you have to spend so much money, and then it's might as well just go buy it, right? Now, hi Lisa, hey Kimber. Back in the day, JCPenney, Bed and Bath, and I think that's all I remember. They used to have all cute little curtains. They used to have a big variety of rods and all that kind of stuff. Well, they no longer have that. I mean, we do have other stores that carry that, but first things first. First of all you need is this measuring thing. It's cardboard. This is cardboard. And I'll tell you why I love it. Because as we pinning things, right, the pin goes in it. So if you try to stop the fabric stops. This thing, hold on, okay. This thing is $6 at Walmart. $6, that's all you need. And it is 56 inches, by 33. So that is perfect to make a curtain, a valance, even a long drapery, okay? You need sewing pins, and I prefer the 2-inch. I prefer rather long ones. They're just a little bit more comfortable. They're easier on my hands because I have long nails and all of that fun stuff. This is your best friend. This is called the Stitch Ripper. Everyone that sews needs a stitch ripper, because if we need to backtrack or fix a mistake, you don't want to go and cut the thread. And I'll show you, cut the thread with the scissors. This is what we use. Okay, you need a fabric pen, marker, chalk. I love my chalk pen. And when you purchase it, it's just a few dollars, again, from Walmart. And it comes with all different colors of chalk. So no matter what material you have, that's perfect for you, okay? You do need a magnet. It's not necessary, but you know. And thread. Let's talk about thread a little bit. So I don't know where this thread came from. I don't know if you can see it says Eco Sew. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to just throw this in the garbage. And the reason why is because although it's a pretty color, it's very stringy. I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see it from the camera. It's very stringy. So what happens is, first of all, when you're starting to thread your machine, it's a nightmare and a half. Second of all, good morning, Courtney from Rhode Island. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Miss Tracy. So it's a nightmare. And also it's not as strong as the other thread. Okay, I shouldn't be able to just pull it like that and break it. So the best brand, all right, let's take it out and it's okay. It's Coats. This is at Joann's, Walmart. I don't remember if Michael's carries it. They might, I'm not quite sure. So that's the best brand of thread. It's strong. They have all the colors and it's not so stringy. So when you're sewing and stitching things together, it's a good thing to have. Okay. Now, the other thing I did for you guys, I have a video that shows you how to prep your sewing machine, best practices and best ways, because, you know, time-wise here, you know, I wouldn't have enough time to do all of that. And another thing I always suggest is to have a regular sewing needle, preferably a long one, because sometimes we do need to make what we call hidden stitches. That's what we call them in Italian. I don't know, I'm sure they have a particular name, right? But that's always a good thing to have. And a measuring tape. Now, I have a super long one because when I used to make the longer window treatments and all of that, you know, you do need something extra long. But a regular one will do, and a regular, it's 60 inches, and that's fine as well. This yardstick, I honestly suggest you having that. It is a great thing, and you'll see I'm going to do quite a few things with it, so that's definitely something good to have. Now, when it comes to wanting to do, hey, Diane, when it comes to wanting to do patterns, and let's say, okay, so this is a very simple valance, and I'm going to explain to you all about the fabric that I made for my laundry room, okay? And I mean, I did put a little bit of a trim. We could get fancy with that, but you don't have to. But when it comes to measuring something like this, you definitely want to have a yardstick. You can also use, I think it's called, thank you, Diane. I forget the name. It'll come to me. It's something that I use when I'm doing work around the house, and it's like You can make angles with it and all of that, but you know, that's what we're gonna do. So let's talk about the fabric for a minute, because I know you see lots of fabric lined up over here. And again, this is when, oh, let me grab that on the other side. This is when window treatments becomes a bit too expensive, right? Because you go into Joann's or you go into a Calico Corner and you start looking at all this window treatment material. First of all, it's pretty heavy, so it's a wonderful thing. And it's also very expensive. Very expensive. And it's okay. Like, you can pick something like that if it's something that you're going to leave up. So like if I'm making something for one of my bedrooms upstairs, yeah, I'm going to go out of the way a little bit and I'm going to get a nice material. Like one of my bedrooms faces the sun from 12 o'clock in the afternoon until the sun goes down, right? So I'm going to pick a material that it's fade resistant of some kind. And I'm also going to pick a backing that does protect my material a little bit, okay? So there's lots of different steps to picking material. The lining, there is, like I said, what you put in the back. It's totally entirely up to you. Like on this one, I just had a piece of old fabric left over from a job I did. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to use it because it goes and I don't mind it, you know, and I already had it. So when you go pick your fabric, then there is a section that has the lining. You can pick the light cotton lining. You can pick the heavier one. They have all different grades. So you pick what is best for the window that you're making. Because again, just like everything, it really depends on where you are putting it. Sorry, you guys. It really depends on where you are putting it, okay? So, now, when it comes, let's say you want to do something seasonal, right? You want to pick anything that you prefer, okay? So you can go with a simple cotton, okay? You go to Joann's, you pick your pretty fabric. You just want to make a little Christmas one that goes with your kitchen decor. And then we're going to make the matching placemats, which we're going to do in the second session today. So make sure you come back. And the lining using the same cotton material. When you buy cotton, make sure that it is a bit of a consistency, okay? Some of the cottons are a little too thin, and I don't recommend those for, hey everybody, I got so into it that, good morning Jan Cook, that I am just being a totally very rude host. Hi guys. Welcome to Nadia's Crafty Corner, and this is my segment of Sewing 101 with Craft Around the Clock. And thank you, Miss Tracy, for giving us all these fun events that we are hosting this entire week. So you guys go on Craft Around the Clock and make sure that you follow that page. Make sure that you watch all my other sisters. We have lots of fun events going on. Yesterday was the kickoff for the gardening gals. Today we're starting with the sewing room, but throughout the day there's going to be lots of amazing crafters that are going to bring you all different sorts of things, right? Good morning, Rose. Jen, you've been in my mind. I'm going to send you lots of hugs. So Sandra, when it comes to, hi Darlia, you guys, before I go on, because I don't want to forget, if you see anyone with a business page in here, please go give them a like and a follow. We all here to like support each other, and it's important to us that, you know, we do that. And if you are here on your personal page, please put your business name into the comments so that we can all like and follow each other and support each other that way, right? Creators love when the support shows. And thank you to that support. I reached 28,000 followers yesterday. So big hug and kiss to everybody that keeps supporting. And I can't tell you how important that is for us. So let's go back to the material, because I keep going off all over the place today. And I gotta keep, track of time. So this is also another material, like, right? This is fun. This is a denim. And again, when you go to Joann's, Walmart, or whatever you prefer to purchase your material, right? You always want to make sure that it is a nice, strong material, that it's not too thin, right? Some of the cotton from Walmart, they're a little too thin. I should have brought some up. I'll bring it up on the second segment, so that, you know, you want to have a little bit of consistency, okay? And again, you really could go all out with the material. But what we're going to work with is, ready? Can someone give me drum rolls, please? Do you see what's on my table? Do you see what's on my table? Thank you, guys. Hey, Ronnie. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Lois, Teresa. Jen Cook, right back at you, my friend. All right, so you guys, want me to tell you what this is? Can anybody guess? Come on, can anybody guess what this is? Can anybody guess? I'm going to give you guys a couple of seconds to see if anybody could guess what this is. I know it's fabric, right? But, there's something different about this. Something a little different. Danny, no. Good call, though. Good call. Good call. You guys, this is a tablecloth. No, this is a tablecloth. No, wow, you guys are good, though. This is a tablecloth that I fell in love with the pattern, and I had to have it. I'm like, ooh, this will make a very pretty spring summer valance. And look at that. It is very thin, as you can see. However, it is pretty strong. And if you want to start, this is a great place to start. And I'll tell you why. The hem is done, right? So there is a little less sewing for you to do. Now, how do we measure the window? This used to be the biggest issue with every customer. Oh, you don't need to come out just to measure the window. I'll measure for you. Okay. Do you know how to measure a window? Sure. I just measure. Yeah, already wrong. So the first thing you're going to do is pick a rod. Okay. And the second thing go back. The first thing tablecloth. See, you guys got it. The first thing you're going to do is decide whether you want the curtain to be inside mount or outside mount. What that means is the wood frame of your window, you can get a pressure rod and put it on the inside, right? So that would be one measurement. But if you want a valance, you're going to go above that molding that it's around your window frame, and you're going to go on the outside of that molding that it's, you know, around your window. So usually we go 3 inches above and 3 inches out. Okay? If you don't have the 3 inches out, like my kitchen window, right? Then you deal with the space you have. But you always want to try to go at least 3 inches up so that you have room for your brackets. I mean, you guys, we could get into all the details over here. You tell me. Ask me questions, how deep you want me to go into this, because we could go deep. So, whether it's a tablecloth, whether it's fabric, whatever it is, just like a ribbon, the first thing we do is look at the pattern, okay? And I want, of course, my pattern to show. Now, my pattern goes this way. Therefore, my valance is going to be 15 inches long. Okay, so like this one. Okay, that's about 15 inches. So what does that mean? That means that I'm not cutting my fabric at 15 inches. I'm going to cut my fabric and give it 2 extra inches. Now, when I do, what are those called? Wreath attachments, or when I'm sewing, I will never skimp on the extra material, because if you only give yourself a half an inch, there is no room for mistakes. And let's say you make a mistake sewing and you need to go with your stitch ripper and cut off the stitches. What's going to happen is, depending on the material, that fabric is going to fray. And if you only have that half an inch extra, you're done. That whole piece is gone. Like, you can't repair it, right? So you always, hey Jenny, you always want to give yourself a little more, right? Let me make sure. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I don't want to get you dizzy, but I got to get you in the camera, because I'm bringing this down a little bit to make it easier for me to measure, you to see. And all right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I am pinning. You see how I'm letting my board help me. And let's do the things right. I'm going to go straight because, okay. And I didn't iron it, and I should have. I'm going to iron it once we cut, and when we come back for my second segment, and I hope you all come back, we're going to do all the pretties. Hello, Mariposa. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. So I said I want my curtain to be 15 inches, right? But I'm going to give it 2 extra inches. That means that I need 17 inches. That brings me, nope, I gotta go up, you guys. Hold please. There we go. All right. So I'm going to go to about here. Okay. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it 1 pin, and I'm going to tell you why I'm using pins instead of my marking pen. Because because my fabric is all straight on my $6 board, right? I'm going to just continue a straight line. Let's say you don't have this board. That's when this comes in handy, because you're just going to put it straight, measure from here to here, mark it with your pen. Let's just do it so you guys get both versions, right? So you're going to measure from the top to 17, from the top to 17, right? And then you're going to do a straight line, okay? Hey, Dawn. Hey, Lori. Okay. So I'm going to continue, though, and do my, okay. The other important thing, let me grab that one again. Okay. As you can see, this curtain, right, is pretty long. You see how long it is? Okay. This is on my door to on my back door to go outside, right? The little window on the door is very small. So I have this ruffled, okay? Because that's how I want it. So it gets all like this, nice and pretty. The trim is down. You see the pattern, you see the colors. And, you know, I don't want nobody to see in because it is my back door, right? So I have the valance and then I have the plain little curtains that I have underneath. But this, you see it up here, right? It's crunched up. It's cruffled, ruffled, however you want to call it. So that's another thing you have to decide, whether you want this one to be a straight. So if you want a straight, then it has to be perfect measurements. So if my window, once I put the rod and I go the 2 or 3 inches outside of my window frame, right? This needs to be 38 inches. That's what you're gonna cut. You're gonna cut 38 plus 2. You always add an inch per side. So 1 inch on the top, 1 inch on the bottom, that makes it 2. 1 inch on the left, 1 inch on the right, that makes 2. So you always give those 2 extra inches to cut your material to allow for the seam allowance. That's what that's called. It's called the seam allowance. Okay? I want this one to be ruffled the same way that I have it there. So I'm going to keep on going. My window is 36. The rule of thumb is that you kind of do a double, right? But, you know, sometimes we don't follow those rules. Sometimes we don't follow those rules because I might not want it so ruffled, right? So you see how I'm just putting, I hope you can see, putting my pins. Maybe I could use brighter. No, because this tablecloth has so many colors. So we're going to go on 17. And now, ideally, this would all be straight. And it would, you know, I wouldn't need to crunch it. But I want to be in the camera so that you can see me, you know. So we're just going to move things around and make sure that I'm pinning to the size that I need, which is 17. Okay. Okay. So I have my 17 inches, and this is going to be the front of my valance with all the pretty flowers. Okay. Now, if I was to be using a lining, okay, if I was to be using a cotton lining, what I would do is having my fabric right side up. I would take my lining, go over it. Now, you can use pins. I adore these clips. These, oh, I found it. Quilting clips. These are amazing. It makes it a lot easier when you're sewing instead of having pins all over the place or the pins stuck in your machine. You get a pin stuck or going onto your needle and that needle is gonna break and it's not a good thing. Lori, this could be for anything. This could be for a glass door. This could be for a window. I'm making this for my kitchen window. Okay. So if you was to put a lining, you would make this nice and straight. And then pin it in the center so that you have everything nice and straight, because we are not going to sew in the center, right? But you will sandwich the two right sides together, okay? So that when we are going to sew, we are sewing on the wrong side of our fabric, right? And then we're gonna turn it inside out. So that's how you would do it. Keep on pinning, and then of course we're going to my 17-inch mark. right? My 17-inch mark is right here. So I would kindly just mark it so that when I'm going to cut, I know that I'm going to cut on the right mark. Oh, Lori, that's wonderful. I love buffalo check. And buffalo check is really good because you can keep it up all year, but then you can dress it up for each season. It's just amazing. Okay, so you just keep on measuring and cutting your 17-inch, right? And then we're going to pass that through the sewing machine. If you didn't want to use a lining, so then, and you guys, I only have, let me see what time it is. Where is it? Okay, so we're gonna have enough time to cut this because I'm already 30 minutes in. By the time we come back at 1:45, I'll have both patterns set so that I can show you how to sew both of them, okay? Either you're using the lining or you're going to do it the way I'm doing it, okay? So, we have, you gotta go here, can't lose you, okay. Okay, so this is our 17-inch mark. All I'm going to do is take that pin, and fold my fabric in. You see what I just did? Fold it in, and now I'm going to start pinning away. Oh, Mary, quilting is a whole other thing. A whole other thing. So, we're going to keep on going. And you see, if I use this, I still have enough. And the measuring method, you guys, I know this might seem silly because we're taking a lot of time on measuring, but if we don't do this right, it's the same thing of when you're painting a room, right? If you don't prep the walls because you want to save time, you're really not saving time once you start the project, right? So you definitely, this is where most of the time goes. Picking the fabric, yes, but also measuring and making sure that your project, now the type of curtain we are doing, to be honest with you, you guys, it is a little forgiving, right? It is a little forgiving. So if you make a little mistake, because we are ruffling it, and this is why I chose this project, because if you are a beginner, I didn't want to overwhelm you with something so structured and so, you know, precise that it's like, oh, I never did that. I don't know how to do that. It gets overwhelming, right? But this is a good way to start. Thank you. Mariposa, this is actually a tablecloth that I fell in love with. And you guys, if you have been with me, you've been crafting with me, whether I'm cutting fabric, ribbon, whatever, you know I have to have good scissors. You can't do nothing if you don't have good scissors. So you can go and buy the big expensive scissors. But I'll tell you what. First of all, Maricela, I'm sorry. Maricela, and I knew that. I knew that because I was watching. Who was I watching? I was watching somebody that said your name. And I'm like, oh, yes, I know her. I'm sorry. I haven't had enough coffee this morning. So you could go and get yourself the fancy scissors and all of that. But this is what I'm going to tell you. The amount of cutting I do, and when you start, you know, if you're making a long curtain or something, These are very heavy, and I have carpal tunnel. When you start, you know, it gets very heavy on your hand, and it hurts, right? And then you start cutting crooked. You can't hold the scissors good. These are good because they have a long mouth, I call it, right? And you can cut bigger piece at a time. However, these are the best scissors ever. And I said it so many times, and I told my friend Kelly, I said, Kelly, I did window treatments for like 6 years, and I went through probably 20 pairs of the $90, $80, $100 scissors. You guys, these are my favorite scissors. They cut fabric like nobody's business. I love these scissors. Deco Exchange. These are the Deco Exchange blue scissors. I'm telling you, I have a pair that I only use for fabric. I do not use them for ribbon. So, just so you know, the best scissors ever. The best. The best. Okay? So, we are going to continue measuring our 17. And see, ideally, you want this to all be straight. And then what I usually do at this point, which I'm going to do right as soon as we get off the live, this is when I start steaming, right? So that my fold gets nice and straight. All my lines go away. Depends how, this is not bad folding, you guys, right? But sometimes when you open things out of the original package, it's not nicely folded, or like I don't fold the fabric as nice as they do. So you definitely wanna iron it before you start measuring and cutting, you know? But this is not bad at all. Yes, Pat, you're absolutely right. You just gotta use them for fabric. Hey, Elizabeth. You just gotta use them for fabric, you guys. And the one for my fabric, I have pink, what is that called? Duct tape. And that's what I put around the handle so that I know those are my fabric scissors and nobody gonna touch them. And they stay on my fabric section. They stay on my fabric section. And sometimes the pins don't have a point and you want to just get rid of those. Just out. It happens. It happens. And preferably get pins that are at least 1.5 inches, and they have a head. Do you see the little ball head? You want those. Don't get the flat ones. For this type of sewing. The flat ones are mostly for quilting, but for this type of sewing, we want the good ones. So, again, because I'm trying to, you know, do a beginner's project using a tablecloth, all your edges are straight. When you purchase fabric, sometimes they roll it wrong. It's not straight. So before you even start measuring, you have to make sure that all your edges are straight. Okay? So now this is ready to be cut. And I'm simply going to follow that line because all the measuring has been done. And I'm just going to cut. And as I do that, I'm going to clip because I don't have it totally straight, right? And I'm trying, am I in the camera, you guys? Yes, you can see me, right? And just cut. And clip. Am I running out of time? Because there's one more step to this that I'm going to show you. Remember at the beginning when I said this is directional fabric, right? Because of the way we folded it, because I wanted to give you a simple option, right? Pat, that is amazing. Like, wow. Wow, I am so impressed. Hats off to you, my friend. Wow. See, I'm not that organized. I am not that organized. When I had the window treatment business, I had 2 rooms that it was just like, you know, when you start accumulating material and then the different sewing machines, the big cutting table and the sewing table, and it was just, whew, it was 4 minutes. What do you mean? You mean to tell me I only have 4 minutes left? Okay, so this is how we did it. So you see, if I was to hang it this way, my flowers are the right direction. But when we turn it over, my flowers are upside down. So you can leave it like that because that's going to be the outside part of it, and we are going to ruffle it and it's going to be fine. Otherwise, the same way we cut it here, we're going to go and cut it here, because after you iron it, this is going to be a nice straight line. So I'm going to cut that, remove my pins. Once we cut it, then we can take the material and turn it so that both sides are facing the right way. Now, if you are not picking something with such a determined pattern, then this step is not for you, but you can totally do it this way because they already all measured, they already all pretty. Wedding dresses. Wow, you know, Pat, that's one thing I've never done. Well, I used to do clothes for my kids, and I did do quite a few things for myself, but I really just wanted to do home decor. That was my thing. My mom, oh, she made all my bridesmaids' dresses. I like to say that I helped, but, you know, she did most of the work, right? So, you guys, I think I'm totally out of time here. Yes. So, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to actually record how I'm quickly doing this. I'm going to record how to thread the machine. I'm going to throw it on my YouTube channel so you guys can see it. You won't miss any steps. Make sure you stay on Craft Around the Clock. Refresh the page. Keep watching all my amazing crafting sisters, and I hope to see you back at 1:45 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to finish this, and we're going to make pretty placemats to match with my pretty. All right, you guys, thank you all for being here, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love to help you and make sure you can make beautiful things for your home. All right, you guys, we'll see you later. Bye.